So we're live here just on the edge of the village of Kirby Misperton, and as you can see, the Heights team from North Yorkshire Police, who have a civilian consultant working with them today. And they were bragging that they could get the surfer off in 20 minutes, but they're already beyond that. So just passed him a helmet, climbing helmet. See, that's the civilian consultant there, advising the Heights team. And so it almost looks like a training day here. So there's no more than about a dozen or so protectors and a few locals at Kirby Misperton today. We're outnumbered by the police by at least 3 to 1. And I'm pleased to announce that we start the year as we mean to carry on. Until such time, of course, as Theresa May, Greg Clark or Boris Johnson or whomever decide that it is time to pull the plug on this insidious industry. We know that an increasing number of the police do not want to be here. They do not want to be facilitating this. And of course, it's reportedly cost North Yorkshire Police about £500,000 since September. And the reality is that it's going to cost them, you know, at least that over the next couple of months, 3 months or so. Meanwhile, of course, Quadrilla are bragging that they've pumped some 5 million into the economy in Lancashire, but that's basically what it's cost to police it. Yeah, I was trying to screen to Facebook, but it seems that my camera is blocked from Facebook for whatever reason. Fortunately, managed to get a live stream connection on YouTube.
I've never met you before in my life, have I?
Who?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Thanks for the support, whoever you are.
Who are you?
Who are you?
We heard your name was Dave.
Dave Adden. He's the elusive Dave Adden who gives out these orders. shows his face.
So are they waiting to call the fire brigade out?
Not a lock on to you.
Didn't take long, did it? Cut that out.
Told you to get down the arch.
So for those just joining the live stream, we're on the northern edge of Kirby Misperton village here, and you know, the North Yorkshire Police made it very clear that they were not going to facilitate any kind of protest down at the gates. So we have a surfer. I know it must be part of the training to learn to stand with your arms tucked into your vest. It's not even cold today. Actually, right now temperature's probably about 7-8 degrees. Fortunately, the wind has died down from the 50-mile-an-hour gusts that we had last year. Apparently 80 mile an hour on a few miles north of here on the moors. But looks like they're bringing out some very interesting kit here. Maybe Santa Claus has been delivering kit to the protester removal team.
They brought them new presents.
Yeah, it looks like they still got to work out how to use it because which doesn't exactly fill anyone with confidence. Looks like the removal team got some presents from Santa, but they don't know how to use it.
We're not joking.
Yeah, doesn't fill me with confidence. Especially as they have to bring out a consultant, a civilian consultant, to talk them through it.
Yes, basically.
I'm now scared for my life. Yeah, I'm being genuine. I ain't coming down now. No way. No way.
I think you need to get them to show you that it works safely first.
Yeah, you want a trial run?
They've never used this piece of kit. It's brand new. They've just taken it out of the bubble wrap.
Chris, you need a trial run. You need a trial run that they can do this properly.
Because they've just thrown all the Amazon boxes over the side.
And on packaging. Gosh, we are weird about it.
You can have that last one, that was funny.
So, are you managing to stream?
Yeah, yeah. This is them trying to work out how to hook up this piece of kit. I think some kind of abseiling mast by the looks of things. The hands on the hips, sort of nonplussed. Probably one of those classic pieces of kit where the instructions are meaningful once you've actually put it together a few times.
We've put music on, but we don't want to upset the villagers.
So do they have to stand that close to you for your own personal safety, Chris?
Yeah.
And I've put it out there. So if anybody is around watching this in the North Yorkshire area, that's why the consultant's here. He probably designed this piece of kit.
Yeah. He's maybe got the instructions.
Yeah, he's the only one who knows how it works. Anyway, if you're in the area, you're welcome to come down. You can park up on the north side of the village, along by the church, and see the protester removal team in action here, with the help of a civilian consultant.
And about 15 police officers watching.
Yeah, the guy in the jacket is the civilian consultant, but he's somewhat shy, doesn't want to identify himself.
I want to see someone else do it first.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't put it on, Chris.
It's pretty obvious that they've never seen it either.
They don't know what they're doing.
I think they need to bring down a couple of 6-year-olds to show them how to put it together. Okay, so our surfer has made it clear that he's not intending to be the guinea pig for this new piece of kit. You've used this before, really? Well, you don't look like you've used it before. I don't profess to be an expert.
We are in this situation because it's not coming down.
No, got no facts at all. I mean, I've come all the way down here for a fact, I haven't even got none. What's all that about?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's the new riddle. How many North Yorkshire police officers does it take to get a surfer off of a truck? Yeah, we got about, I'm guessing, 30 plus police. Obviously there's the removal team, there's more down at the gate. There's one truck in. There's the kit that they profess to have used at least once before.
I've never seen that used here.
But they don't seem to be, how should I say, using it with any confidence, or even assembling it with any confidence at the moment. Yeah, but apparently North Yorkshire Police have announced that all overtime is now cancelled because they've run out of money. So it's going to get very interesting, of course, in the remaining part of the fiscal year. Be interesting to see how many volunteer to do this in their own time. And is the sergeant? I wonder if he actually got the red epaulets on a permanent basis for Christmas. Because he's a sergeant, really. He just gets upgraded when they're short of inspectors. I mean, he's taking the piss. You know, one day he's an inspector, the next day he's a sergeant. Actually, he's always a sergeant.
Do what they like.
Yeah. Well, they haven't got the manpower.
Yeah.
A lot of deliberation going on here. Obviously the kit's still on the ground. Yeah.
No, tell him to get that vehicle out of the garden.
Yeah. Oh, ladder coming away, giving up on the ladder.
Chris, what's happening? Chris, what's happening? Good.
We're giving them a demonstration. When we do it, it's illegal. Hey, let him laugh. Let him laugh.
Okay, so this is now the police demonstrating the kit, apparently, for the benefit of the surfer. Well, there's a local farmer that's not very happy that he can't get his tractor through, but he's concerned that he's losing money while he can't get the delivery through. But what he obviously doesn't realise is that if they actually start fracking here, he'll lose his farm. He'll lose his farm, he'll lose his livelihood. Local residents have already been told that because some have wanted to move out and they want to let their house, and they've already been told by local estate agents that the amount of money that they might get will be greatly reduced because of the fracking. And basically it's nigh on impossible to sell any property around here right now. So basically they are prisoners of Barclays Bank, trading as Third Energy just down the road.
Thanks, Peter.
Well, there's a couple of the protectors engaging in lively debate. Fortunately, it seems to be, well, it is being supervised by the evidence gatherers. And who knows, maybe they might learn something to their advantage. It's very sad. I mean, obviously this industry does drive massive wedges through communities. We've seen that everywhere else in the world. And unfortunately, the only time that the community seems to come together is when they realise that basically their water has been contaminated, or when the properties that they've purchased are effectively unsaleable. It's really sad, you know, and this government has a lot to answer for. Right, we got the abseil pole being erected now. Are you guys going to dance around it first? Looks like they're assembling a maypole here. Okay, I think we need to go on to eBay and see if we can find one of these, because I can think of some very creative alternative usage for this piece of kit. You've never seen this used before? No. Whereas they're not actually operating it with much confidence.
Already.
So I'm going to go take a look on eBay for one of these, because I can think of some much more creative usage for this. And actually I really appreciate these guys showing us how to use this piece of kit, because we could definitely make some use of it for when we're stuck on top of the roundhouse or whatever, of course.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
You could get the solar panels higher.
Yeah, exactly. Or help with some roofing repairs, you know. This is about as Heath Robinson as you could possibly get.
team holding that pole? Or was it just a police officer who's not trained?
Who knows?
Yeah.
They went. They got a lot. I think they got a lot of trainees out today.
Yeah.
Looks like a training day.
Yeah.
You see what's going on here. They're trying to. So the sun is just coming over the top of the house here. So let's see if we can get a better angle out the sun.
He's the, what is he?
Consultant. He's a civilian consultant apparently. Well, there's a great comment here. Somebody said, my 4-year-old son just asked what's happening here, and he said, I told them some bad men want to destroy the water of the country. And unfortunately, our police are helping them.
Which is true.
It is true. I told him bad people are trying to dig our countryside and make us all sick so that they can get rich.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Spot on.
That's a very astute observation. And of course, at Barton Moss, there was a family there who ran a kennels, and they were very much pro gas when they first arrived. And then one day their 5-year-old son was in the car when they were driving past the rig, and he said, Mummy, are they going to drill into the earth, and will the earth crack and we all die? And she said, I couldn't answer him because I didn't know. She said, so then I did my research, and what I discovered just shocked me to the core.
Yeah.
And from that point, that was when they realised that they had to.
Anybody that does the research properly could facilitate
it's not possible.
Anything like it's impossible.
If you have an ounce of humanity in you,
yeah.
then once you take a look at what this industry has done elsewhere, you cannot for one moment believe that this is something that should be unleashed anywhere, let alone here.
It's not even about protesting. It's about just stopping it.
Yeah, one of the locals up in the window there, actually filming what's going on his iPad.
Is he filming as well?
Yeah, just wave to us.
Guy behind you,
Guy
look.
behind you, give him a
wave.
What if he's got any fun?
Just proving that, obviously, as I say, it does divide the local community. There's no doubt about that. It's happened everywhere, but ultimately, we have to do what we have to do. And anyone with any children, then they need to look at the health impacts that this industry has had on particularly children and the elderly, wherever it's been unleashed. And of course, in the States now, there's been a number of studies on the impact of the industry causing low birth weights, stillbirths, and leading to very significant negative health impacts in the early weeks and months of their lives.
Yeah, if you can get me down it, you'll get him down it. I'll wear twice what he wears.
I agree. The old scaffolding looked much more secure. But obviously somebody's decided that they have to go high tech. Either that or they just had too much money to spend.
I'm gutted, Chris. Why can't I have a go?
That's too hard for you to do.
Oh, golly! No way! I think you need to go back and practice again and again.
Don't go down there.
Golly! If that's an experienced descent, then we have real problems.
Take it back to Santa Claus. You don't want it.
Go get the scaffolding out.
No way I'd go down there. He fell when he got to the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. He nearly broke his ankle when he.
Hit that.
Yeah. No.
You've got some red epaulets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait for the scaffolding.
Scaffolding.
Yeah, back to the drawing board with that.
Epic fail.
Send it back to Amazon.
I think they got that on wish.com.
Remember what they did to Eddie?
I might imagine somebody be like half fall down.
Yeah, he nearly broke his ankle when he got too close to the bottom there.
I didn't lie to you. Yes, he did.
I would lie to you, but he fell. Sorry, bro, I don't lie. Don't make me laugh. I'm actually genuinely scared now. I don't know how I'm going to get now.
They need to get Sky scaffolding. Oh, they're locked on the site.
Are they locked on?
No, but they're not the trucks on there. They're vans on there.
Put the helmet on, then you're more likely to like think, oh well, he's got safety equipment and like drag it down. Whereas from pure like the more vulnerable I am. Come on, Chris.
Can't force him down.
No.
Chris, they can't force you down. It's your safety, not theirs.
So, having seen the demonstration,
Hang on.
Chris has decided that he's not going to cooperate.
Good on you, Chris.
Go on, Chris.
So now this is aggressive tactics here.
Give him a
They are
kick.
literally trying to restrain him. They're trying to tie him up.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Not health
And-
and safety.
Come on, guys. You know that's not the way to
Not
do it.
health and safety.
No, you know.
Chris. They're moving us.
So now they want to move us. The reason being is, of course, they once again they want to stop the filming.
Hello, if you just move backwards, please, thank you.
No, I'm not interfering in anything.
You want to move back?
No, I'm not interfering with anything. I am absolutely not interfering with anything. I'm just filming. And excuse me, your chief constable has said that he will not impede any filming here at Kirby Misperton. I'm filming from here. I'm filming from here. I'm not in your way.
So we're not going to stop you filming. You can still film.
No, you are. I'm filming here.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not in your way.
Okay.
All right?
Can I ask you to move? Sorry.
Sorry?
Can I ask you to move?
You can ask me, but I'm not in your way. I'm not causing any obstruction.
Well, you are technically inciting that activity.
No, we're not. We're concerned about his health and safety.
How am I inciting that when I was in bed?
You're filming it and you're encouraging it.
I'm not encouraging it. I'm not filming it.
Right, why do you swing up to the tree?
Just move to you asked me a question. You said, why don't you want to move back to the tree? I said, because I don't want to.
Right. Okay, you can stay there. Right. But just don't start encouraging it. Just then start getting to the
Go on, Chris!
That was encouraging, isn't it?
Well, what you're encouraging by being here is far more insidious.
And you want us to do something for you? I don't think so.
What offence am I committing by standing here?
We know You're not committing offence. Just reasonably, I would reasonably, I'm not saying you're going to get arrested. Reasonably asking you.
I'm not committing any offence. I'm not doing anything wrong, then I can stand where I like, can't I?
You just tried to forcibly, they've just tried to forcibly remove this.
Just tried to forcibly
Places health and safety. Right. So what? Not illegal.
No, I'm talking to each other, we're talking to each other.
We're not stuck up, we're still stuck there.
No, you're trying to move us when you've got no authority because you've done nothing wrong.
I am. How am I doing that?
Because you work for Third Energy. Oh, you know,
I don't want to be in. I don't want to do as much as you do. I'm just doing my job. I'm told
Just doing my job. God, where have I heard that before? Oh, Nuremberg.
how is that a choice? Who's going to pay my mortgage for it?
Damn. They're admitting they're debt slaves. Who's going to pay my mortgage? God damn. So if someone told them to pull a trigger, unfortunately this is the mentality that we're seeing here. This is the young generation effectively being enslaved through debt and stating categorically here that they will do whatever it is that they're told to do so they can pay the mortgage. I am truly appalled.
You're a father. If you've got children, you're a father. You have more authority.
See, now I'm not a politician, that's what a politician does.
You know what? That would be one of the greatest opportunities that you have in your life. Yeah. Oh, it is. I can assure you it is.
Isn't that what they did in Poland?
What's that?
All the police there and I went, look, it's not our problem, get on with it.
Absolutely. The police said we're just here to prevent a breach of the peace. If there's a problem, it's for the politicians to sort out. But here we have a corporatist state.
You have the choice of you and doing So if I come to your house and threaten to kill your child,
This is North Yorkshire Police.
you're not going to act as a father. Are you? Because that's what Third Energy. Yeah, no, you wouldn't. You're a liar. Right, because you're here facilitating this.
It's a small police force that really doesn't have much experience, or doesn't have really any real experience of this. They're way out of their comfort zone. They're more used to riding 1950s mopeds across North York moors. The vast majority of people here in rural North Yorkshire have hardly ever seen police. And actually, I mean, their experience of North Yorkshire police is not filling them with much confidence, to say the least. And of course, they're trying to minimise the or impact on the statistics by trying to lump all complaints against the police associated with Operation Kingfisher under one single complaint. So needless to say, we have multiple freedom of information requests going in, because they will try and deceive and obfuscate, and as we've seen many times, just openly lie, basically. Yep, I'm well aware of the sky fracking agenda, but you know, one issue at a time. You know, we can occasionally encourage people to actually look up, but today, actually, you know, we got quite natural sky, well, very natural skies actually, for a change. you need water or anything?
You need a kiss?
A cuddle.
Can I go and give him a cuddle off his
Yeah,
face,
I'm
feeling a bit
sure he'll
lonely?
come down if I give him a cuddle.
Why did you just say that at the start? Tell you what, mate, it's one tick wank you won't walk away from.
Stuart, right.
I didn't make any observation about what was in the sky. It's just simply unnatural, that's for sure. It's undoubtedly pollution, whatever it is. Morning, Pete. How you doing?
Is that thing over?
Ask if he's got any fags.
So, on the basis that the Christmas delivery from Amazon proved to be a total heap of junk, and the demonstration did not go well, to put it mildly. So, our surfer has decided that he's not going to put himself at risk by following the demonstration. So he's now literally laying down and
But you've not seen it. I've never done this operation, but I don't know.
trying to be persuaded to come down, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
No chance.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, for whatever reason, Facebook seemed to have somehow managed to block my camera. So, fortunately, we have...
That's not got a count.
I thought it was an arse.
it's a wildebeest, I think. Yeah, Willem Velderhof in the Netherlands, who's a former KLM pilot, has just participated in a documentary talking about toxic air and everything that entails. And of course, this industry is potentially a significant contributor to toxic air. Yeah, 2 tankers did come in, and the first one was delayed at the top of the hill, the other side of the village, where some of the locals were planning on giving it a slow walk down to the gate. But then the police decided that all slow walks were off because there was a more permanent, how should I say, blockade here in the village. But this is what happens, you know, when the police refuse the right to peaceful protest, then basically all bets are off, and you bring whatever creativity to the party that you possibly can.
Tell them to get here. Time.
Yeah.
Christmas is over.
So if this is what we can do with about a dozen people, imagine what we can do with a few dozen more. And in fact, if there was 500 local people here, there wouldn't be any necessity for truck surfing.
No.
500 people and it would be game over within a month.
Rest.
I could go back to my life.
I could play golf.
Yeah,
Go play golf. Yeah. Get a job. Get a job!
Get a proper job.
Yeah. I bet you could drive it better than him.
Oh no, there is absolutely no possibility of the protest escalating beyond anything other than peaceful protest. This is a campaign that absolutely relies on the support of Middle England, and you know, it's that massive support that we draw upon, and so anyone who escalates beyond peaceful protest is an agent provocateur.
Yeah. Fluffy muffin.
So this is, the police are escorting locals to walk through the village in case they jump on the truck.
No.
There's a bit of a sense of humour failure there.
I think so, yeah. He's joking.
So yeah, come down, join us at Kirby Misperton. It might be winter, but right now it's a very pleasant day. And you know, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing, and we have plenty of that. So if you don't have the right clothing, come down. Yeah, and one assumes that our surfer will be spending a few hours at the Fulford Hilton.
Yeah.
So need a bit of support down in York. Yeah. So I think whoever recommended buying this piece of kit, I think that was probably a career limiting move. Nice try.
You can see the idea.
You can get the idea, yeah.
See the idea, but when he fell, the one who was demonstrating it,
Yeah.
wow.
I think it would probably... Actually, you know what? Because it's a piece of junk, just give it to us.
Give it,
Yeah, we'll use it on
You know,
purpose.
we'll find a use for it.
Decent roof truss out of that.
Was your live streaming when they was trying to get him down?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was there a picture there? Was there a picture there? Was there a picture on it then? Who said the picture on
No, on my Facebook. Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought they were going to have a dance around it when they first put it up. That's probably why they fell, you see. They didn't go through the ritual of dancing around the thing before trying to climb it. Yeah, the pole thing, as you call it, was apparently a high-tech device for protester removal.
It's hardly high tech. I think
But yeah,
Egyptians did stuff like that. Right.
and then ditched it because it didn't work.
Because it didn't work. You know. Yeah, thanks for that, Ian. Shoot me right.
Sky scaffolding going
Yeah, no, we know they're in the back. They went in the back. They went in the back this morning. Yeah, I'm sky scaffolding going into the well site because the winds battered their fences last night. They were the winds took down all their Harris fencing, and they were going around checking the actual perimeter fencing this morning. And of course, the scaffolding stands about 30 odd feet high, and no doubt was taking the full brunt of the wind last night. So sky scaffolding obviously going in to do a few safety checks. Let's just hope their safety checks are a little more thorough than the safety checks here on the protester removal kit.
Stop smiling, you're having too much fun.
I think it's the last time that we'll hear them brag, or we'll be down in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Is that what they said?
Yep.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that was when we were the others.
Well, it was 15 minutes before I saw your post, so it was happening, so bit of a fail.
They're up there an hour now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, easy, over. Yeah. They should have done the risk assessment before they even descended the pole, but they decided to wing it, and actually made a right pig's ear of it. So. Yeah, and of course they've had to get the kit because the fire brigade have made it abundantly clear that they are not available for protester removal. That is the role of the police, and they will not have their services abused.
I've been told that they can hear me on the live stream. I'm sorry if a few swear words got in there, Ian. I do apologise. It is a live situation.
It is indeed. We are indeed live here from Kirby Misperton, North Yorkshire, the northern edge of the village, and yeah, we have the first surfer, I believe, of 2018.
Well, this is his second surf of this year.
Oh yeah, second surf. Yeah.
Wipe out!
No, the last surf was you've lost track of time. The last surf was before New Year's Eve, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we had a surf for this year.
Was it?
Yeah, it was him.
I've lost track of days.
When did you last surf?
When did you last do your tub surf? A couple of days ago, wasn't it?
Was it after New Year?
It was before New Year, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
He knows, he was
It was before New Year. Yeah. So this is the first surf of. Yeah, I thought so. I think we've all come to the conclusion now. It was. This is the first surf of 2018. Who was arguing, guys? We were just trying to. We were debating whether or not the last surf was this side or the other side of New Year.
Arguing standard conversation with protesters.
Exactly, and if you can't have debate, you know, that's what's becoming a problem in this country, the political correctness of you can't debate. Yeah, people have to learn, once again, to have discussion, to have debate, and have to learn to disagree. You know, it's okay to have disagreements, that's what it's all about. But then, yeah...
As long as you don't disagree with me, we're all right.
Yeah, but we focus on what we do agree on.
Yeah, exactly.
And right now, we agree on Third Energy, Barclays Bank.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be here or anywhere else.
Have you tagged the Barclays yet, officer? Officer, have you tagged the Barclays yet? It's very liberating.
So I think they've decided that this is a bonding exercise now. Sunbathing up there, they're getting the best of the sun. It's warmer up there than it is down here. You got a bonding session going on up there?
Oh, looks like it. Best buddies. That's his mate sat in the lorry.
I know. It is warm.
My feet are cold, but I'm not.
God damn, this is incredibly warm. It's got to be at least 7 degrees right now. Yep.
Really harder than I am.
No, fortunately at the moment, Northumberland seems to be off the hook. The greater threat to Northumberland was underground coal gasification. But I think even our dumbest of politicians have realised that after what occurred in Australia with Link Energy, that underground coal gasification is just about as absurd as it could possibly get. So the two primary companies that were looking at underground coal gasification, which were Clough and 5 Quarters, have effectively put it on the back burner because I think they know full well that they're never going to get approval to get those projects kicked off. And of course in Scotland, all unconventional gas exploitation is now effectively banned. It's very creative, and same in Northern Ireland and Wales. It's only England where we have ignorant, arrogant politicians who still think that they can push this agenda through. But you know, the increasing number of people who are realising that that would be a potential nightmare for the north of England are determined that ain't going to happen. Well, Jim Ratcliffe is actually gagging for war in the Middle East, and you know, he's working on the basis that the geopolitical situation may actually be the primer for him to be able to get INEOS established in the UK. Because obviously if things do kick off in the Middle East, and of course Trump is doing pretty much everything he can to facilitate that right now, it would seem. And then of course it would all of a sudden be crucial for national security. The reality is that almost any other form of energy would be better for our national security, and of course the reality, we should be more concerned about our food security, because, you know, right now we're importing 50% of food into this country, and, you know, this is an industry that is going to destroy large tracts of prime agricultural land. So it would actually create even greater problems for food security in the country.
Hurry up, Chris, I'm hungry. Come on.
Actually, take your time.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah.
Take your time. I am in no rush.
Now shout out for somebody on counter tobacco.
And a kebab.
You
I want
what?
a kebab.
Yeah? Yeah?
If there is anybody in the immediate area watching this, then yeah, because this is somewhat impromptu, we could do with maybe some sandwiches and some water. See? So that was the police basically saying that they're going to starve him down. So this is a new tactic that I don't seem to recall seeing anything about starving protesters in the pace.
This lady here in this house here says she's going to put kettle on for you if you want. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Flower.
Now it's one of the local residents offering to make a brew.
I love that.
But yeah, this is very much a spontaneous surf. So if anybody fancies bringing down some sandwiches and some bottles of water.
Tobacco.
Tobacco, apparently.
Now the lock on, I've got no backy.
I'll have a kebab. No chilli sauce, garlic mayo. Thank you. Oh, very brave
Yeah.
driving away. Have you noticed that?
He wasn't talking to us, he was talking to these guys. I would never advocate that.
No.
I think it's most inappropriate for them to suggest that you guys should be shot. Extremely inappropriate. Strung up. Oh no.
I agree.
No, we're non-violent.
Absolutely.
Say I do it.
You're getting so many messages of support here. It's unreal. Your popularity is increasing very significantly.
She's a hero.
If you were in China, you'd be at the top of the league in the popularity stakes.
Yeah. Come and surf my wagon, Chris. Ooh. Don't swear, you're on TV.
This is a surfer on top of a tanker that was going into the Kirby Misperton well site, which is Barclays Bank trading as Third Energy, looking to become the first company to frack in the UK since the moratorium was lifted in 2012. So after 5 frack-free years, we have started 2018 as we mean to carry on. And you know, wherever any potential fracker tries to establish a presence, there will be massive community resistance. And it was wonderful to hear that there was a big community turnout at Misson Lane and Misson Springs and Tinker Lane yesterday, the two iGas sites which are under construction. Yeah, absolutely, you should change banks. I mean, don't just change your bank, let Barclays know why you're changing bank, because Barclays claimed in May of last year that they were going to divest of Third Energy. So all they did was they sold 21% to another, Barclays Bank company. Yes. So Barclays, one way or another, still own 98% of Third Energy. So the reality is this is Barclays Bank looking to frack. Some of the locals here, or some, not the locals, some of the delivery drivers are a little bit frustrated at having to do a 7-mile detour, 7 miles pretty much all the way around, I think.
And when he gets round there, it's blocked that end and all anyway.
Yeah, they put... The police have literally put road closed signs up, totally unnecessarily. You know, it's the classic tactic of police trying to cause disruption between the protection community and the local community. So yeah, it's all pretty calm at the moment. Apparently the inspector has been on to the Amazon returns department, and Amazon have said they don't want this piece of shit back. So you give it away. Well, we'll take it.
It doesn't look like we're getting Scarborough today.
No. All the best laid plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the political solution is very simple. The political solution is exactly the same solution as Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, France, Romania, Albania even, you know, Poland, any of these countries. All it needs is for the politicians to actually reflect the will of the people and ban this industry, and then we can actually get on with our lives.
I've got a job in Spain to get to. I'll wait, man.
I'm off to India.
Yeah.
There's the consultant looking somewhat dejected. It's
How's your day going then, pal? Alright, did it go as planned? Did it go as planned? Alright.
No, and the longer it takes, the bigger his invoice.
Yeah, well,
so we're doing you a massive favour here.
Yeah.
We should invite you.
Although I would actually make sure you get paid, because it seems that Yorkshire Police are running out of money.
Yeah.
Seeing as they've just announced that all overtime is now voluntary. They've run out of money. Yeah, that's exactly the observation we made. It was more Heath Robinson than Heath Robinson.
I've got to ask,
Who's Heath Robinson?
Yes.
God, yeah.
It's always me that's got to ask.
Okay. Well, Heath Robinson was known as, like, sort of, if you wanted to bodge something, or if you wanted something that would work, but it was functional but not exactly pretty.
All right. Right, I'll get it done.
This vehicle's not going in now. They're sending another vehicle in round the other way to replace this one. So they said this vehicle will not go on site when I get down.
So?
No.
No, but they're sending another vehicle round the
Okay,
other
but Third Energy is still paying for it.
And there's people down there.
Alright, bro. Just letting you all know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris! Potsy says nice one, bruv. Who? Nick Potts.
Is your other brother over there?
Your brother from another mother?
Yeah. Is he there?
Here we go. Dave Maris says Heath Robinson was actually a cartoonist.
Alright.
Who was renowned for drawing ridiculously complex equipment for something that was very simple.
Right.
Bit like this, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, some police know, but they are between a rock and a hard place. But you know, when we were at Borkham, Littlehampton police station made it abundantly clear that none of their police were available for duty at Borkham.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably meant they got the real shit job somewhere else,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they said that they were not going to participate in anything at Borkham.
You local. You local. Not
That's what I always try and do, that bring in people from outside who have no attachment to the area.
I'm local. My children live downwind. So all that crap that they're going to blow out, going to blow straight down to my kids. That's why I'm here. How much are you getting an hour? Probably the same as I was, love. Probably exactly the same as I was. I'm a skilled man.
No,
I'm a skilled man. I had a job. Pitched it in.
Not to.
Burnt my friendships, threw my life away.
Right.
And I've never been so free in all my life.
You choose. You choose not to. You choose.
You're not
follow
impartial though, are you?
orders, take your wage
You're not
packet,
impartial.
and like you said earlier,
And your government thanks you for your apathy.
absolutely. Do you feel
Your government thanks you.
supported?
As you know, it was Henry Kissinger who said military men, and the same applies to police, are just useful pawns.
Yeah. That's all you are.
That's why the Polish police basically said, you know, we're not going to get involved. You sort this out at
Well, I just like the way everybody
at government
says,
level.
I
No,
can't,
no.
I can't.
I couldn't either.
Nobody.
then you're a slave. You're a slave.
Yeah.
Whether you realise it or not, the moment you say I can't do something,
Yeah.
you are a slave.
Yes.
And the debt slavery has been created so that unfortunately you give the sort of responses you've just given.
Mothers and fathers
Yeah.
can't defend the children.
No, exactly.
Because they're not allowed to, and they're just doing the
No.
job. It's disgusting.
Now, Kissinger didn't refer to the military as useless eaters. He was referring to anybody not contributing to the corporatocracy as a useless eater.
What about what?
It's not to do with us.
Yeah, they can walk down. Why not? You've been
why can't
walking
they walk
people down. No, this is a delivery
Not
guy.
with us.
Yeah, they've been
It's
walking.
not with us.
You've been escorting people through. So these are people, you know, just trying to deliver to the village. There's no reason to
It's got
to
two
stop
boxes
them.
in his arms. It's not heavy. You can do it.
Come on, you guys have been walking
they're
people.
doing
You've been
it now,
walking people
look.
through.
People walking people through, mate. Look, they're walking
So
people through.
why the inconsistency?
Hello.
Well, you just let
You've
these
just
people
look.
through.
Look. Here's people walking through.
Sorry, brother.
I do
Sorry for the
apologise.
inconvenience, mate. I don't know, mate. We're protesting, mate.
We're just trying to help the police show a bit of consistency here.
Alright, thank you, brother.
So we get a result.
Hey!
Common sense prevails. It was delivering to the first house here as well. Media are reporting a female arrest.
A female arrest?
Apparently.
I've heard nothing.
No.
Chris, are you a female?
Yeah, you a woman?
Can't remember. It's been 5 days, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, but I can't refer to you in the gender specific anymore, can I?
Why not?
Well, apparently it's politically incorrect. So what term should we use?
Cucumber.
Red ass! That's his name, Red Eyes. You can't do out about it now, can you?
Yeah, if you get any information on that arrest, Ian, I'd like to.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, if we can get a bit more information on
Just missed out on the
on the-
first arrest, mate.
on the arrest.
Just missed out on the first arrest in 2018.
No, he was already arrested, wasn't he?
No, he would have been the first. I'm pretty sure he would have been the first.
Yeah, but I thought they'd already arrested him.
Apparently a woman's
Have you already been arrested? Have you already been arrested? Yeah, what time? Come on, mate, there's a great beer in it.
Who?
Oh, who was arrested?
Who was arrested?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
We know who.
Okay, we know. Yeah. All right. Apparently there have been two other arrests. We're up to speed now. Thanks for the prompt. Oh yeah. In fact, we could hear the screams from the other end of the road. So we could hear him being. So he was being dragged off. Yeah.
He had his hand caught in a bar and they just kept pulling him anyway, even though he was making out that he was telling them that he was hurt and they still didn't stop.
Okay, so one of the arrests this morning was quite brutal, apparently.
That was before any of the cutting team or climbing team were all out, not either.
So that was just local Kingfisher.
Yeah.
That was a Kingfisher arrest, huh? Okay, so for those that have just joined us, what we have here is a truck surfer, and we're on the edge of the village of Kirby Misperton in North Yorkshire. And Kirby Misperton is the location of Barclays Bank's FRACK pad, because Barclays Bank are trading here as Third Energy, and they have every intention of being the first company to frack in the UK since the moratorium was lifted in 2012. But actually they've been ready to frack for the last 8 weeks. In fact, it's exactly 8 weeks today since their application was submitted to Greg Clark, Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. But Greg Clark has hedged and is now hoping to be moved out of the role in the coming cabinet reshuffle, and there is much speculation that Boris Johnson may actually be lined up for this job. But the reason that this is so important is because it's taken 5 years for the government to get to this point since lifting the moratorium, and fortunately the level of awareness amongst the population of the country as to what this industry has unleashed everywhere else where it's become established, in the US, in Canada, in Australia, is such that communities in the country are determined that this will not happen in the UK. And Scotland, Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland and Wales all have moratoriums in place, or outright bans in place, or have changed their planning laws to make sure that it can never happen in those countries. So we're just left with England. And unfortunately we have compliant police forces that just do as they're told because they can't think for themselves. As we've been told this morning, you know, what choice do I have? I have to pay a mortgage, which is the epitome of slavery. What choices do I have?
I think we should have a cabinet reshuffle and I should be Secretary of Kebabs.
So thanks for everybody who's joining us and sharing with us.
Yeah, thanks everybody, thanks for your support.
And the wider we get this information out there, and the more people realise that they are empowered. They have enormous power. Much more than, obviously, the guys in the yellow jackets believe.
Oh, he got nice eyes. Oh, yeah.
And more police arriving. I'm just going over to have a chat with the sergeant. Oh, sorry, inspector for the day. So,
Did you bring any kebab?
Today, mate.
No criminals to catch out there?
police arriving mob-handed. Apparently it takes 40, 50 police. Maybe they, you know, they're obviously not on overtime.
Oh, hey up. Careful, step there, everybody.
Careful, or you'll have to be removed for your own safety.
Jenny Dixon was asking for requests, but she hasn't sent it in.
Let's just take a look at what's occurring around us here.
What's occurring?
This is the village, and here's all the reinforcements. Actually, they're there to for my safety, to protect my back.
Yeah, get a rare photo of me and Nana Lock-on not arguing. Yay!
The lady who has no choice but to put on a yellow jacket every day.
You know, I'm reasonably fond of you, you know.
Apparently, the police have just put out on their Facebook page a message asking if anyone's got any ideas as to how to get you down.
Yeah, I'm sure you need it. Offering beer, it works all the time.
Yeah, so for those just joining us, here we are at Kirby Misperton. I'm guessing this is a crew change. Yeah, that's exactly what Chris said when he was asked if there's anything that they could do to get him to come off the truck. It's exactly what he said. Ban fracking.
Yeah.
No, you know, apparently the vast majority of our police are not able to think beyond the next salary check. And those are going to be diminishing salary checks, seeing as the overtime is now banned. Apparently the police have run out of money, North Yorkshire Police have run out of money, so they've announced that there will be no more overtime payments. Yep, so please share around. Let's show particularly those communities in Nottinghamshire and South Yorkshire and Derbyshire what is possible. This is peaceful, direct action. And the reason it needs one guy to be on a truck is because if there was 200, 300, 400 people here with their feet on the ground, there wouldn't be any need for anybody to climb on a truck, because it would be a completely different dynamic. But in the absence of the large numbers, because like the police here, people have got mortgages to pay and roofs to keep over their head, food on the table, so they're not able to get down here. So those of us that are, then we have to obviously do whatever needs to be done. No, the police are not upholding the law, other than effectively preventing a breach of the peace. But the reason that it's on the truck is because they refuse to acknowledge the fundamental right to peaceful protest. Exactly right, that's exactly what occurred in Poland. The police stated that it was a dispute between the people and the government. Yeah, well, that was what we heard. We had heard that the Operation Kingfisher were going to be on leave until next week, but we took that at face value, and decided that we would still be here early in the morning. And sure enough,
Bring back a cup of tea, kiddo. Oh, eh? Two sugars. Not mine. Or just a general acknowledgement, you know.
there's a crew change. So anyway, yes. Yeah. Yep, thank you, Geraldine from Belgium. We appreciate all your support.
Bonjour, ça va?
And thanks for all you do in Brussels. You can see.
Yay!
Tell him we'll give him an interview.
Try and come out
They
the
get
sun.
3 cups of tea, but there's a distinct lack of kebabs.
It's a very bright day here after the wind of last night.
Do I get to say kebabs? You're not for this live stream. Somebody will bring me one, just call it off. Two kebabs, and then a lock on one as well.
So is that 3 of you locked on now?
3 kebabs.
So they've got to get a whole new rescue team out. This is a surfer at Kirby Misperton. He's been on top of the truck now for, well, close on a couple of hours at least. The removal team initially bragging that he'd be down in 20 minutes, but it seems not to have worked.
But it works really well in practice. You know, it's like when you train, when you teach somebody martial arts, and you know you've got dummies in front of you.
So our surfer's having a good conversation with the removal team that are up there with him. Apparently they've actually expressed their support for what he's doing. No, he hasn't got it. In fact, the team leader of the removal team basically said she was going to starve him down. If he wanted food and water, he could come down. But they didn't reckon on him being as determined as he is.
I thought they couldn't deny you food and water if you're
They can't. Pace makes it very clear that they have to provide for welfare for anybody that's locked on.
Okay. Dad, I'm bloody freezing.
Yeah, you look scared, like.
That'll be the cutting team.
You look scared, like. Yeah.
These guys said they'll take over for a bit though if I want to get down and have a break.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do half hour. And then, yeah, is that alright? Is that alright? So I got for half an hour.
The pole at the side of the tanker was the piece of kit that the removal team decided was state of the art, and was going, once erected, was going to facilitate the removal of the surfer. But he was smart and requested a demonstration first, and to say that the demonstration did not necessarily go as was intended would be an understatement. So anyway, he decided that he wasn't going to come down that way, so they're now waiting on, I think, some scaffolding. They'll erect the scaffolding to try and get him down. No, we've suggested to the police that they just leave the maypole, and it's a piece of crap, so we'll find a use for it.
On the cab.
On the cab, yeah. Yeah, these are just water tankers. They were being sent in to remove the collected rainwater, surface water from the pad. But I mean, Greg Clark has already cost Barclays Bank at least £100,000 a day, and that's a very conservative estimate for 8 weeks. So, you know, that's pushing about, well, it's over 5 million. I reckon that the cost to Third Energy over the last 8 weeks has been somewhere with, you know, the high side of 5 million. And that's a company that is 90 million pound in the hole. The two entities, Third Energy UK Limited, has a negative net worth of minus 52 million. That's based on the last published accounts, although they are 3 months late publishing their 2016 accounts. And the other entity, Third Energy Offshore, is 40 million in the hole. And North Yorkshire County Council asked for a bond of just £160,000 for reparations, which is pathetic. It should be at least 10 times that.
One thing I miss about having a job is being I'm up and shot by someone. How easy was that?
Well, the injunction is with INEOS. It doesn't apply here. And although Justice Morgan has denied leave to appeal, that's exactly what Joe Corrie and Joe Boyd will be doing. So they're in the process of preparing their application to the Royal Courts of Appeal to challenge the Justice Morgan ruling. Absolutely right. This industry really is a Ponzi scheme, and the only possible serious revenue is if the boreholes are ultimately used as disposal facilities for toxic nuclear waste. And of course, having broached that subject with radioactive waste management on 2 occasions directly, and each time it was deer in the headlights moment, so you know, that's a very real risk. And of course, it's never been denied.
Chris, you can do what you like up there. Yeah.
Well, people tuning in from Dubai now as well, so...
Oh, New Year's Eve was a blast, man. Look at that. Oh, actually, no.
New Year's Eve, I was there.
No, I wasn't. I was somewhere else.
Yeah, you was.
So yeah, please share this around the various anti-fracking groups, and also, you know, the anti-libertarian, or the sorry, the libertarian group, not the anti-libertarian, the libertarian groups, because it is the INEOS injunction which is a direct threat to the basic principles of democracy. Second?
Is there a post office in Kirby Misperton?
No, there's no post office here.
She lives 2 doors up.
Oh, it's the old post office. It's the old post office, yeah. Yeah, it's about midway down the high street here.
Hence the confusion.
Yeah. No, the potential is that the deep boreholes, ones that are not fracked, will potentially be used for deep geological disposal. And the person that's on point here is also in Yorkshire, South Yorkshire. It's Professor Fergus Gibb at I can't remember if it's Hallam University or Sheffield University, one of the two anyway, based in Sheffield. And he is the guy who is developing the deep geological disposal techniques for toxic nuclear waste. Most of his initial research has been done in the States, but there's little doubt that that research would be used and brought across to the UK. And the reason that they want to do it right across the north of England is so they can hide the cancer clusters that will undoubtedly emerge once the nuclear waste is put down the boreholes. So sadly, of course, most of these police are not even aware about the geological disposal issue. yet it's all out there in the public domain. Yep, so just search for Professor Fergus Gibb, Sheffield University, and nuclear waste disposal, and you will see his research on using deep wells for exactly that. And the woman who was on point at Radioactive Waste Management, a Texan by the name of Natalie Ayler, she has now left Radioactive Waste Management to set up her own consultancy. And guess what she's going to be doing? Advising Radioactive Waste Management, but charging them a shed load more than she was getting in salary. Absolutely. More people, I mean, it's 3 years now, at least 3 years, probably close on 4 years. Yeah, 4 years since we first flagged up this link between the fracking agenda and deep borehole disposal. And like I said, despite the opportunity, neither Radioactive Waste Management nor the British government have denied that this is a possibility. Yep, no, it is the case that the more we can spread the word, the more we can encourage people to do their own research. This is the crucial element. You know, it's really important that we encourage people to do their own research, not to take anything that we say at face value, because that's what the government and the industry wants people to do. Just take what they say at face value. But the reality is, once people do their own research and they see what devastation this industry has caused everywhere, and I mean everywhere it's established a footprint, then they very quickly realise that we have to resist this with everything that we have at our disposal, peacefully of course. Maybe if anybody is on the Frack Free Rydale page or Kirby Misperton Protection Camp page, they could put a call out. You know, the issue is not gas. The issue is unconventional gas. There's a massive difference. You know, there are certainly those who would like to see the end to all hydrocarbon extraction, and we are definitely in the twilight years of a hydrocarbon-driven economy, but it's not about gas per se, because, you know, there have been gas wells in this area for 20+ years without any noticeable problem. It is unconventional gas extraction. This is chalk and cheese. It's unconventional gas extraction, which is the process of high volume, high pressure hydraulic fracturing. It's a very destructive, very aggressive process. And as we've seen everywhere else, yeah, it contaminates the water, contaminates the soil, destroys agricultural land, has massive impact on livestock, and also, of course, on human habitation. Trying to get a message out that if anybody fancies bringing some refreshments down to the roundabout at Kirby Misperton village, it would be very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, and tobacco. I think it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe a bed and a sleeping bag.
Well, Chris has got Got the wind up there, but it's got the sun.
Till it's time to come down.
Oh, he'll be charged with, ultimately he'll be charged with obstructing the highway.
Just say that again, love. Yeah? Not an hour, what?
He said what, Chris?
He said there's no other lorry coming in now.
Okay.
Not yet it is.
At least the lorry driver's getting overtime, but unfortunately your boss says there's none available. Is that right? Oh, wait. I just want to pull out some, see if anything manifests. Hmm? No, I just put it down. Scaffolding? Is this the scaffolding crew?
Is this the scaffolding they said they didn't have? What's in it?
Back to old tech. Yeah. Here we go, low tech kit coming out now. If he was hoping for a bit of publicity on his design, big fail. Yeah. Yep, so this is the police having decided that the abseil pole wasn't going to be appropriate. It's now back to the original technique of erecting scaffolding up to the level of the protector and then encouraging him to walk across the gantry and come down through the scaffolding. Yeah, we did ask about the maypole dancing, but there was a bit of a sense of humour failure. Oh yeah, it's part of the live stream. If, once obviously we end the live stream and the video is uploaded to YouTube, you'll be able to go back and see the guy abseiling down. Jackie, does anyone need a ride somewhere then?
Can't they go that way, Jackie?
They can if they know to go that way, but it's something else to get round that.
I'm sure they can be helped.
And they went back.
we can help either carry or guide them around there. You can walk. I think they will let you walk through. Apparently we have a local resident that is going on a cruise and needs the bags picked up, but I think with the way things are moving here that the time scale is such that it's not going to be a problem. I mean, obviously the last thing that we want to do is to you know, frustrate the local residents. Inevitably there's going to be a degree of that, and of course the police actually facilitate that. They want there to be friction between the protection community and the local community, and that's why they prevent the protest from happening beyond the village, and it's forced then here. But I think that there's many people in the village who understand that. So the scaffolding being erected here.
I'll go around the other side, I think.
Okay. It's the sun. It's the sunlight that's the problem. It's all right. We haven't got an issue with the bags. If it came to that, of course, we could get the bags to the car. That's not a problem. But there's always ways to find a solution, and we'll always work. If we're asked the question, then we can find a solution. Yep. Thank you for all the positive response here. I would be around the other side, but the sun is literally coming into to me from 90 degrees here. So if I move, then I'm just going to get glare. This is Kirby Misperton in North Yorkshire. I mean, Kirby Misperton's real claim to fame is that it is the home of Flamingo Land, which is one of Yorkshire's most significant revenue earners in terms of tourism. And the entrance to Flamingo Land is exactly 1 kilometre from the FRACK pad here at Kirby Misperton. The FRACK pad sits about half a kilometre or so from the edge of the village, and even the local MP, when he visited Pennsylvania, said that there should be an exclusion zone between FRACK pads and local residences, but he was prepared to make an exception for Kirby Misperton because it would be more disruptive for the residents if another pad was established and another well drilled. Well, you know, the local MP here is Kevin Hollinsnake, and he was put into office in 2015 when his predecessor, Anne McIntosh, who was vehemently anti-fracking, was deselected. And of course her local Conservative Party was instructed by Central Office to deselect her so that they could put in a pro-fracking muppet who would do their bidding. And that's exactly what Kevin Hollinsnake does. He's a shell of a human being. Has prostituted himself horrendously to an industry that is proven to be toxic to any community where it becomes established, and he's been the poster boy for unconventional gas, whilst bleating that you know, unless, and he would oppose it if he wasn't satisfied that it could be properly regulated. Well, this is an industry that cannot be regulated, period, as we've seen everywhere. Yeah, I mean, we know that, yeah, we've got 180 odd people watching live. So thanks for everybody that is tuned in, and say, spread the word. The most important thing is to show other communities, you know, what can be achieved here. This is Chris. Obviously, the scaffolding has now been erected. He's just moved off onto the top of the scaffolding. And will now be a guest at the Fulford Hilton on the outskirts of York for a few hours. No, bin men have more integrity. So there's our surfer. One has to say that once again the removal team have behaved with absolute integrity. So Chris, hundreds of messages of support. There he is, being just marched up to be taken off to the Fulford Hilton. So if you're in the York area, come and join us later on this afternoon at the Fulford Hilton to greet Chris when he's released from custody.
They'll be alright, they'll stick in the cage as long as he's getting down past that first bit.
Can you tell everybody it's on the way?
Yeah? Yeah.
Who told them?
Yeah, I just announced that he's on the way to Fulford Hilton. So.
The lorry's on the way to site as well.
Which lorry? Okay. So yeah, the truck is going down to the site now. Some 4 hours later than was originally intended, apparently. I say there have already been 2 arrests earlier this morning. One of which was actually quite brutal, as the police tried to literally drag him off the truck whilst his hand was caught in it. Unfortunately, of course, we didn't get that on video. Huh? So this is now the removal team dismantling their maypole, their failed piece of kit. And if they'd have stayed with tried and tested technology from the get-go, then we might not have had a 4-hour surfing event. Yeah, appreciate it. Pretty much it's all over now, and we got to go and provide some support at Fulford Police Station, known colloquially as the Fulford Hilton. So, somewhat lengthy live stream on top of my normal 8:30 live streams, but this was a bit impromptu. It was somewhat impromptu, as the police have made it abundantly clear that they were not going to facilitate any kind of protest down at the gates of Kirby Misperton. So, as is often the case, of course, a protector acts independently, spontaneously, and that has led to a 4-hour surfing event here on the southern edge of Kirby Misperton village. So I will be back with the live stream tomorrow morning at 8:30 AM, but all support is welcome here at Kirby Misperton and at the other live sites, of course, at Preston New Road over in Lancashire and at Tinker Lane and Miston Springs in Nottinghamshire, where iGas are in the process of establishing their pads. So don't forget, you either wake up to what's occurring here or you wake up in a gas field. The choice is absolutely yours. And finally the maypole comes down